Hello my sweeties and welcome back to my channel. If you don't already know me, my name is Celise and thank you for joining my spooky little family. In today's video, we will be talking about Pet Sematary because sometimes dead is better. Directed by Mary Lambert and based on the novel by Stephen King, Pet Sematary follows a family that moves into the country house of their dreams and discovers a pet cemetery at the back of their property. The cursed burial ground deep in the woods brings the dead back to life with minor problems. At first, only the family's cat makes the return trip, but an accident forces a heartbroken father to contemplate the unthinkable. This film stars Dale Midkiff, Denise Crosby, Miko Hughes, Blaise Burdell, Brad Greenquist, and Fred Gwynne. So listen guys, I want to say first and foremost that when I was little, nothing scared me more than Zelda. Zelda was just like a huge no-no for me. It was a no-no. It was a goodbye. I really did enjoy everybody in this film. They all do a spectacular job, especially at nailing the tone of this film. However, my favorites would have to be Fred Gwynne as Judd. Just the way he delivered the lines was everything. He just brought so much life to this character and he remains memorable. Another favorite performance of mine has to be Miko Hughes as our little baby, as our little Gage. This kid was really scary, but also made you feel bad for him in a way, especially towards the end when Lewis has to inject him and officially kill him. I was just like about to cry. I'm like, this baby is evil. This baby is like killing people with a scalpel, but like, this baby does not deserve this. Now you know, I gotta talk about Zelda baby. Andrew Hubatsik was only on screen for a couple minutes at a time, but literally that short period, that performance is so eerie and the makeup is so good. And it's just something that sticks with you. He's not in this film for that long, but I will never forget his character. By far, I think Zelda and of course our lovely performance from Church, the cutest kitty in the whole world, is by far my favorite. Speaking of Church, I have a fun little fact if you care about my personal life real quick. When I was 11, we went to the adoption center. And all I saw, first second I stepped into this place, I just saw this beautiful gray Russian blue cat. I am aware that the cat in this film is not a Russian blue, but it was close enough for me. It was a gray cat. And like the first thing I said was, I need that cat. That cat looks exactly like the cat from Pet Sematary and I need him. And he was my best friend. So whenever I watch this film over, I can't help but think of my cat and get just like a little bit emotional. Now let's talk about some things I liked. First and foremost, no me diga nada about Pet Sematary 2019. That just like didn't hit for me. Okay, it was a major disappointment for me. The original film, however, is one of my favorite reincarnation films. If you guys don't already know, I am and have been a huge Stephen King fan from a really young age. And this movie, it still hits. I just rewatched this today and this film remains eerie and haunting and just keeps you on your toes. Honestly, even though I've seen this movie so many times, there are so many things that I somehow am still shocked by every time I see it. I also really love that this story was inspired by actual events experienced by Stephen King. While living in Orrington, Maine, his daughter's cat was killed on the highway and she was completely devastated, which inspired the role of Ellie. Also, while King was living there, his youngest son was almost hit by a truck that was speeding down the road. And the character Judd was inspired by an elderly neighbor that lived across the street from him. Also, just wait. There was an actual, yes, this is true. You can fact check me. There was an actual pet cemetery in the woods behind Stephen King's house. which later became the basis for the one in the novel. If you watch the film closely, you could see the name Smucky on one of the gravestones. That was actually the name of his daughter's cat. Another thing that I really enjoyed in this film is the gore and special effects. Even to this day, it looks so good. It looks so good, and it's still so scary. Church's like creepy glowing eyes were done in camera because cats naturally have a retina that reflects light. The crew actually put a light directly above the camera lens in order to create that effect. Another thing you guys may not know that I thought was really cool too is that for a lot of Gage's scenes, they used a combination of puppets and special physical effects. While I have you here, I'm going to talk about some of my favorite scenes. One of my all-time favorite scenes has to be when Rachel gets back home and she first sees Zelda, and then all of a sudden she hears Gage's voice and she sees him coming towards her with that scalpel. Yeah, put that in your brain real quick. That shit was terrifying. The second scene that I really love is the ending scene. Now, if you haven't seen this film for some like weird reason and you've just been sleeping on it, maybe you shouldn't hear me spoil the ending for you. So if you'd like to click out now, like, feel free. When Rachel is coming back from the dead and she has her moment where she reunites with Lewis and then they just start making out, and I have no idea how he's making out with her because, like, do not make out with blood all over. But anyway, they're making out and she grabs that knife in the kitchen while they're making out, and she literally goes to stab him and the screen goes black and you hear him scream. 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10. A brilliant way to end this film. Anyway, you guys, my overall thoughts of Pet Sematary is that this movie is fire. This movie is fire. It holds up. It is still genuinely scary. I really enjoy just the way it looks and overall the way the story is being told. Everybody has great performances. This is just a film that will remain creepy and eerie probably till the end of time for me. I will say there were some moments in the film I felt dragged a little. So because of that, Pet Sematary gets 4.5 levs out of 5. I highly recommend this film. If you haven't seen this film for some bizarre reason and you would like to, I believe it is on Pluto TV to stream for free right now. All right, you guys, that is it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe as it really helps me a lot. And make sure you click the little notification bell to be up to date every single time I upload. And if you've seen this film and enjoyed it, let me know in the comments. Or did you prefer the remake for some weird reason? Also let me know in the comments. I would love to talk about it. That is it for this week, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.